All right guys, so this is my 2017 Camaro SS. It has about 25,000 miles, or a little bit over 25,000 miles, and this video is basically an overall quality check of how everything is holding up. So as you guys can see from all the list of items that I'm going to be going over on the screen, I will be starting from the exterior, then moving on to the interior. We're going to be looking at the engine bay as well, everything, you know, from electronics, you know, to the roof, how everything is just operating right now. And lastly, we'll take this car on a drive. So without further ado guys, let's get right into the video. So starting from the exterior guys, with the paint, okay, I cannot in my right mind give this paint a good quality score, because this paint is terrible. I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up or not, but this car came full of scratches, okay, a lot of scratches. I've seen on forums that a lot of people who have this car, they say the same thing about the paint. It is not strong at all, and you know, I experienced that for myself. Now I have to say that I myself probably didn't take care of the paint the best as I could. You know, there were sometimes I actually took it through a drive-through car wash, which probably did not help the paint as much. But however, you know, even before I took it, the car was filled with scratches. One thing I have to recommend if some of you are planning to buy this car is definitely invest in something like ceramic coating or paint correction if it came with a lot of scratches, because definitely the paint is not strong on this car. So far, as far as the exterior, nothing has burnt out. You know, as far as the daytime running lamps, fog lamps, nothing has burnt out. Everything has been working fine. Same thing with the backlights as well. Everything is working. All right, so moving on to the interior of this car, starting with the dashboard. Haven't had any problems. I haven't seen any signs of fading, tearing, rips, scratches. I haven't seen any of that. The quality of the dashboard is definitely great. Okay, interior, moving on to the steering wheel. The steering wheel, unfortunately, at the bottom, which is here, okay, you guys, you will see some peeling here. I've seen other owners with this problem as well. Usually it is very cheap to replace this piece here. A lot of people use carbon fiber replacements as well. Okay, as far as the rest of the steering wheel, haven't seen any problems. The thread, the leather wrap, you know, none of it has been coming out or fading. Well, actually, see a very tiny signs of fade. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but nothing too serious. Keep in mind, guys, that I barely ever put like leather treatments or anything on the steering wheel. So as far as the leather seats, it's been holding up pretty well. One thing I have to talk about is this part here. This part has shown a good amount of wear. So like for example here, you can see signs of marks and wear. Okay, some of it came with the car, some of it I put on, of course. All right, moving on to the passenger side leather seat. One thing I have to point out is this mark here. Unfortunately, this is my doing. Some hand sanitizer fell in there and soaked in the seat for too long, so it made some discoloration there. Other than that, the seat has normal signs of wear and tear. You guys can see this piece here, which is common for wear. Not bad at all. Of course, it's not as bad as the driver's side because not many people sitting here, you know, versus the driver's side. The gear shifter, haven't seen any problems. This has held up pretty well. No signs of fading or tearing that I could see. Moving on to the electronics, haven't had any problems with it. The only thing I've noticed, which seems to be something common too, is that the Bluetooth sometimes gets delayed, especially when playing music. So let's say I'm playing some music and I select the next song. What might happen is that it might take 2 seconds later to sometimes play. Sometimes that increases the longer, you know, the car is operational. Usually if I hold the power button down, turn off the system, but it's not really a full turn off, it's like a quick sleep mode, I call it. Okay, so if I do that and turn it back on, then everything seems to be in sync again. Okay, until, you know, over time, the more the car is operational, it seems to become out of sync. If I turn off the car and turn it back on, it seems to fix the sync problem as well. Other than that, haven't had any problems with the electronics. The sunroof is still pretty much operational in this car. Fully automatic when opening. Alright, no signs of motor functions failing in there. I have seen some people complain about it, that it stopped working for them or gets stuck. I haven't had any problems with that myself. It's not fully automatic when going back. You know, you have to keep holding it. But opening and closing, no problems. Alright, so interior, as far as the trunk, haven't seen any problems except the normal area that gets a little bit beat up, you know, when you're putting in and out stuff. But other than that, haven't seen any problems. Well, if you want to consider this a problem, this is a little bit out of place here. I don't know, I think I can pop that back in. I don't know, the other side is like that. I don't know if I can pop that back in, but I guess you can somewhat consider this a quality problem. I don't know if all Camaros end up like this, but this is sticking out. Both sides are the same, so I wonder if it's normal. But let me know in the comments below if someone else has this car and you experienced this here. Other than that, I haven't seen any problems with the trunk as far as like quality. Everything else seems to be in place, intact. The speakers back here in the trunk, no problems. The interior lights, is there more than one in here or only one? No, only one, and it hasn't burnt out in the trunk, so everything back here working great. All right, so let's move on to the engine bay of this car here. Fully automatic or semi-automatic, if you want to call it. When you lift it, the rest just goes up by itself. I haven't had any problems with the functionality of that. The engine bay, I absolutely do not clean it, don't really do any sort of like wire checks or anything like that. So the engine bay is pretty much dirty right now, but regardless of that, I haven't seen any problems with the plastic or wiring like tearing or fading or anything like that. Everything is pretty much looking intact. All the belts still operational. Alternator, battery, which is in the trunk, all of that's still operational. The engine still sounds pretty healthy, and let me let you guys hear it real quick. The hood still closes properly, no problems there. The rims on this car are pretty decent. I'm not gonna really talk about the tires because that's wear and tear, but the rims have no problems, pretty good quality aside from some curb rash or scratches from hitting something. Same with the brake calipers on there, no problems as far as like fading or damage, wear and tear. Brake calipers seem to be pretty good. For the final part of this review, guys, we're going to go on a quick drive with the car and talk about the reliability. I know I haven't made an update on that in a while, so on the drive part of this video we're going to do right now, I'm going to talk about the reliability. So yeah, let's go for this drive. So this is how I drive the car most of the time. Okay, and as far as reliability, I have had zero problems with this car. Okay, I know some other people have had electronic problems, breaking down problems and stuff, but I don't know if they maybe just had a lemon or if they modded the car or what happened, but I haven't had any problems with reliability. Okay. The only problem is the one I've already mentioned in many videos, which is with the transmission. I'm not going to talk about it or go over it again in this video. You guys can watch the previous videos for that. But the transmission shutter problem was the only thing. As you guys can hear, or hopefully the camera picks it up, but the car sounds pretty healthy. Only maintenance I've been doing on this car is the oil changes, you know, brakes, tires. That's it, man. Nothing else has been due. it in manual mode real quick. That was the second to first downshift. If something was wrong with the car engine wise, you would have heard like some rattling, or you would have heard it. All right, so while I'm stopped, let me give you guys a little rev here. That's with the windows down. Another rev with the windows up, so you can hear everything from the inside. Still sounds pretty good, man. Love this car. Still can corner like crazy with this car, even at high speeds. And that was nothing. This car can corner very well, even over like 100 miles plus, man. I don't even track this car, you know, so I don't even use the car to its full potential. But at the same time, you know, I don't baby the car, you know what I mean? So that is it for this quality check review, guys. The car, like I said, it has reached the 25,000 mile mark. If I look at the speedometer, as of right now, it has 25,305 miles on it right now. And so far, besides what I mentioned about the transmission, which was barely even a problem for me because, you know, got that fixed easily. But besides that, no other problems, man. I do my maintenance according to the owner's manual. The car is 100% stock, and I've been good, man. Knock on wood.